So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another late night stream of mine. And you see, it's UBoat again. I am doing a complete playthrough through the war, having started at the very eve of Second World War. In this submarine simulation, which was, September 39, and looking at the date today in the game, it's end of January of the year 1944. So we have been going through that more than 4 years in the game, and I've been sharing all the adventures with you, and you have shared your time with me on the stream. So I pretty much enjoyed all this. Well, in real life, this project is already going on since a year or something, right? So, usually 3 dates a week, sometimes 1 or 2 more, sometimes 1 or 2 less. And meanwhile, we are sailing in the Mediterranean. We have started in Wilhelmshaven, doing all these close-by missions, transferred to La Rochelle, have been promoted from Type 2 to Type 7, and then we went to the mid-Atlantic and finally got access to the milk cows, these bulky submarines which we can use as resupply and refuel ships, and this opened up the missions on the other side of the pond. After having successfully finished them, we went to the Arctic convoys. From my judgment, I would say that these were the hardest missions that I had. And after that, we moved through the Strait of Gibraltar, which wasn't as bad as you would have expected it from the movie, for example. And now we are doing this Mediterranean mission set with the home base of La Spezia. And, well, in total we are supposed to sink 250,000 tons, and it's just 25,000 tons to go to finish that whole mission set. And last stream, last week, we finished a mission, we refueled, and now we are again on the way to our mission area. And here we are. So, shall we do it like that? Roughly. It's evening, 9:30 roughly. Everything's alright. Discipline. I should have a look at the discipline. My fatigue level is up to 6 again, so shore leave is some time ago. Let's see what we can do about the food. I'm offering one type of food. Maybe I should upgrade it a bit and do 2 types of food, and let's see if this helps to raise discipline, raise moral. Oh, I actually did I forget to restock spare parts. Well, I still have plenty of spare parts, but not as many as I might want to. Let's always see that my engineering officers have a handful of replacement parts with them. But that leaves the stores empty. So 5, 10, 12. That's not too much. Let's just hope that we don't run into too much trouble on that mission. The bilge, almost 40 liters, that's not too much. It's just this ordinary, small sneaky leaks. Let's turn on the pump for a short while. Yeah, by the way, we are sailing with the Type 7. A few missions ago I switched to the Type 9 and then found out that there was still this bug present with the leaks and weight loss coming in. Good evening, great to have you. I was just thinking of... Yes, you did. That was what just crossed my mind. So that means when you have started a completely new game without the Deep Leaks mod, so did it? What's your conclusion? Is it in connection with the Deep Leaks mod? Sounds like. Yeah, okay. Okay. And even with the Deep Leaks mod, it was working. But you did start a new game. Maybe it kind of was connected. Yeah, isn't it? It's still much, right? To be honest, I don't have the numbers in mind. How did you actually... I mean, do you really mean 30 meters or is it a typo? So you did actually run into enemies and let them depth charge you, or how did you provoke the leaks? Was real combat leaks from enemy fire? Yeah, it must. Interesting. Pretty interesting. Yeah, okay. So you already got the leaks when you were on the surface, right? Because they were returning fire, I guess. Yeah, recklessly go in with your deck guns blaring. And then they did the job with the depth charts, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it still leaves a weird feeling because these 10,000 tons, 10,000 liters per minute. Ah, you did that calculation, yeah. So 10 centimeters. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Right. I agree, that's not too unrealistic, yeah. So here we are again in the Mediterranean, and I'm going to do a little bit of 8-time acceleration. Get into our patrol area a bit further, and shall we do a hydrophone check here?
Auf maximal sichere Tiefe gehen. Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Anlauf beginnt! Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
A is the cross section, the area of the hole, I guess. And then, well, yeah, the H is your depth, I guess. G is, yeah,
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
9.81 kilogram times meters per second square. Acceleration, gravity.
25 Meter.
And so what's CD? What does that mean? Is it kind of heating, some kind of streaming properties? Whether it's a kind of turbulent flow or something?
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
All right. So what's the hydrophone range? The weather, well, it's 12 knots. That's not too bad. There shouldn't be too much of noise disturbing. For some reason, the crew did not stop the engines.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Ah, there we are. Engine stopped and 5 minutes of hydrophone check.
Meter. Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Yeah, okay, so some kind of geometric correction factor.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 15 Grad.
Alright, contact.
50 Meter. Herr Kaloy?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not that much of an expert in terms of fluid dynamics. Even not about the basics. It's not quite my wheelhouse.
55 Meter.
So there is a contact. Guys, fingers crossed that this is not just one of these ugly fishermen. Yes, yep, yep. Yeah, what did you say? You did it with 0.61? Yeah, I could well imagine that it's, well, a bit unrealistic if you, yeah, if you put it to 1, probably you assume that you don't have any turbulences. That you have a complete laminar flow, which is probably not too realistic, yeah. So guys, we have a contact. Hey, why
Alarm beenden.
did you put the crew on battle stations? Yes, exactly, yeah. The, yeah, neglect any friction, yeah.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
So it's relatively shallow around here. It's 200 to 300 meters according to the map. And let's accelerate. So we are doing a hydrophone check, which means that the crew brought the boat down in a standard workflow to 50 meters, stopped the engines, and now we are listening for 5 minutes to the hydrophone in silence down here. And after 5 minutes, the crew is gonna turn on the engines again and
Ja,
brings us back to the surface. So let's give it a bit of a time acceleration. It's midnight, few minutes past midnight,
Abgasen.
and there we go, back to the surface.
35 Meter.
Engine started again.
15 Meter.
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Radio transmission. Again, this is maybe about the weather forecast. Ah, we have a free crew specialization point. Interesting. Wasn't aware of that. By the way, let's give it a save. Let's do a new save whenever we have a new stream. W476. And I think all of my crew is specialized already by now. So now also there we are gonna run into that the specialization is completely maxed out. Here we are. One specialization point. I think all of my sailors are specialized by now. Let's go for the diving. Any guy who's not yet a specialist, they are all. They are all, so that means I can save that point in case of one of my crew mates dies and I have to hire a new one. I can make him a specialist right away. Now, let's assume that this guy is just an ordinary merchantman, then it would travel with maybe something like 8 knots, which means after 1 hour he must be on that circle, and we are going
Äußerste Kraft voraus.
flank speed, and within 1 hour that would bring us probably roughly 16 miles closer to that target. And here we go. Was 10 past 12. Let's go for 1 hour and then take the next check. By the way, guys, did you watch the football match, France against Morocco? That's actually why I am a bit late. I mean, even later than usual tonight with the stream. Here we are. And let's do the next hydrophone check.
Tauchen auf.
So one data point is fine, but to actually figure out what their course is and estimate their speed, for that we need a second data point, and hopefully we are getting that right now. And please, fingers crossed that it's not one of these slow movers with just 4 or 5 knots. So if it has moved only somewhere onto that circle, that would be the clear indication that it is just one of these boring fishermen. Yeah, the Morocco team was doing a good job, but the French, they are awesome, aren't they? That's really a great team. So I would pretty much like to see the French winning the championship.
Meter. Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Yeah, I think something like half a year ago there was this Africa Cup, wasn't it? And I think Morocco was... There was some kind of... I don't quite remember. Some kind of a discussion, because the final match, and I think Morocco was in the final match, but there was some irregularities. I just don't quite remember. That doesn't look too well. So that means that these guys are... Yeah, it's a fisherman. I'm pretty sure it is.
Aktuelle Tiefe 55.
Yeah, probably no point in chasing him down, but let's finish the 5 minutes of hydrophone check just in case we might run into other contacts.
Meter.
Meter.
Yeah, no other ship turning up. But this guy's just a fisherman, that's for sure. that's this port guarding ships, probably one of these smaller vessels, yeah. But I'm not intending to go for the port. Yeah, as you see, or maybe as you know, I'm playing on almost maximum difficulty level, which includes that I don't have the enemy contacts being marked on the map. I quite like this feature, kind of drags me even deeper into immersion if I really have to do these figures manually, tracking enemy ships on the map. And the tools that you get here, the geometric tools, they're pretty perfectly fine to do that. Yeah, let's accelerate and finish the hydrophone check.
Aktuelle Tiefe 30 Meter.
Meter.
What about discipline?
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Okay, so in total we still have a negative overall situation with the discipline, which means that I have to add more food variety. Let's add the fish. With that, we should have an overall positive. Yeah, okay, pretty good. Times square root of, yeah. Yes. Yeah, as for me, I'm usually not quite in the mood to do too much sophisticated calculation while streaming. But yeah, good point. I mean, very good point of yours about, yeah, estimating the diameter, which actually shows, as you said, that it's not that unrealistic. Although, well, I mean, imagine that there are the seams, right? I mean, you have the seams which are bolted together, and if one of these seams actually gives way, you wouldn't at once have a hole of a diameter of 10 centimeters. But, well, I could imagine that you're quickly there. Well, in principle, I would say this is kind of basic engineering. And everybody needs engineers. Wow. Wow. How did you do that? How did you actually fix a hole with a diameter of 30 centimeters? Well, I mean, it depends what you refer to as a factor 3, the diameter or the area. But nevertheless, I mean, the water is coming in then with an enormous pressure. So how could you actually put something on top of that leak and fix it into position?
Kurs setzen. Kurs setzen.
Ah, you do it from the outside. That sounds like a leak sale. I mean, I understood that you also have read the classics like Hornblower, and I remember that in the Age of Sail, if they had a leak, you still do it from the inside, but you have some kind of mechanism to kind of put it through the hole and then give it some spread. You push it through the hole and then there is something like, yeah, I imagine something like you push it through the hole and then you blow up the mushroom head. Yeah. Yeah, well, the EU laws. Yeah, well, I mean, isn't there some particular laws for the military? I mean, in principle, you should not be allowed to apply something like a gun to your employees because it's a hazard to health and life. Yeah, let's give it some more time acceleration. 2 o'clock. And here we are. And let's give it 1. Ah, now we have that effect again of the missing workers on the conning tower. I didn't have that for a while. Let's see.
Halbe Fahrt voraus.
So, Mr. Schultz, our bosun, should do a bit of navigation.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
And yeah, let's give it another hydrophone check. Yeah, in the game the Mediterranean is relatively quiet, although I think this is not quite realistic. The Mediterranean can also be pretty tough. Yeah, okay, when the water was just 3 degrees, yep. just above getting solid.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Yeah, well, yeah, come on, I mean, the game gives a great atmosphere, but of course, after playing it all these years, there is a few things that we would have liked to be improved, yeah.
45 Meter. Sturmgeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 0 Grad.
It says a merchantman being dead ahead.
Peilung 10 Grad.
Several ones. Oh, that one is really close.
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
So mark that one on the map. And fingers crossed that it's not a fisherman. And what about the other guy?
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
It's there, a bit further away. But they are all both in line, so nice that we can follow them. And now again, let's do this kind of estimation. Assume that it's an ordinary merchant.
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
So half an hour would bring him there. Half an hour would bring him there. And half an hour would bring us. There.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Now 6 o'clock in the morning.
50 Meter.
We should have a bit of daylight by now. Yeah, nevertheless, let's finish the hydrophone check.
Anblasen.
There we go.
30 Meter.
Let's see what the illumination is on the surface by now. Yeah, it's the break of dawn. Let's give it a save for now. And do a bit of time acceleration.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Ah, shit! I didn't man the engines.
Diese
So let's see that we really get flank speed.
äußerste Kraft voraus.
And here we are. Captain, please man the bridge and give us an overview with the binoculars. Okay, we have a bit of swell going. That doesn't make it easier to spot something, but at the moment it pretty much looks like there is no smoke column visible on the horizon.
Ja.
Discipline is not increasing. considerably. All right. Let's give it the hydrophone check now. Yeah, we do have quite a bit of a swell. Sun, beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. How beautiful. This I like. This I like to hear. I'm really getting closer and closer to purchasing sea power. If you have this kind of campaign mode, that sounds good. Yes. I like that. This is what, for my personal taste, these kind of games need the campaign mode. I don't quite like to just do single battles, but what I like is, like we have it here, the progress, the commitment. So let's give it another hydrophone check.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter. Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Schraubengeräusch. Peilung 315 Grad.
Aktuelle Tiefe 25 Meter.
Herr Kapitän,
Alright. So that looks good. If this is the same guy,
40 Meter.
and now it was roughly an hour, wasn't it? So that pretty much looks like that this guy is moving faster. It's a bit unclear.
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter. Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloin?
Come on, it might still be just a fisherman.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 330 Grad.
Still be just a fisherman.
Herr Kapitän,
And this guy. Oh, come on.
55 Meter.
Yeah, this looks more like a merchantman in terms of speed. Yeah, yep. Yeah, same for me. I was having an eye on that game since a while. And dynamic campaign, for me personally, dynamic campaign is a very important part of the immersion.
Aktuelle Tiefe 55 Meter.
So I think we can leave this guy out. This guy is pretty sure a fisherman. But This one here looks like a decent merchantman. Let's go chase down that guy. But, like usual, let's first finish the hydrophone check.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Anblasen.
35 Meter.
Alright,
Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
there we are.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
So this guy roughly moving on a course like that. And another hour should bring that guy there. And another hour should bring us there. So this is gonna be a bit hard to catch up with the guy. But let's see, it's 7:20. So that fishing boat is dead ahead. Oh, these fishing boats are a bit of a pain in the ass in the Mediterranean. Past. Here we are, and next hydrophone check.
Auf 50 Meter.
Discipline is constant at 87. Fatigue is increasing slowly from 6 to 7.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Now, there we are, 50 meters, engines turned off, and silent listening again.
Meter.
Mr. Strauss at the hydrophone.
Geräusch.
Oh yeah.
Schiff. Peilung 25 Grad.
Yeah, that's pretty close to
Aktuelle Tiefe
what I predicted it to be.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
So I think this guy is not a fisherman. Very good. Nevertheless, let's finish the hydrophone check, 5 minutes, to see if we run into any other contacts. Probably we would still have that fisherman on the screen, astern.
55 Meter.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Yeah, let's see what we hear. So, by the way, what's the breaking news today? From my point of view, it's Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remastered. So I was really considering not to stream UBoat tonight, but Black Flag. But on the other hand, probably loads of people are right now about to stream Black Flag. And yeah, I'm not quite sure if this is up my alley to stream. I mean, the game definitely is up my alley, but it's always, not every game that you love to play is automatically a good game to stream.
Anblasen.
Some time acceleration.
Aktuelle Tiefe 15
Auf
Meter.
Dieselmotoren wechseln.
There we are.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Now, next. Like that. And what is it about us? After 1 hour we would be there. But maybe I would like to do 2 hours in a row. Like that distance would be 5 miles. So maybe do it a bit like that.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
And 8 o'clock in the morning. And the sun is up. Yeah, it's January, end of January. Let's go. 2 hours. It was 8:30. Half an hour. One hour. One and a half. Here we are, 2 hours. Anything visible? Yes, there they are. There they are. Yeah, January 44. Okay, it was so late that the snorkel actually was rolled out. There it is. It's a merchantman, very nice. Let's hope that we get some tonnage with the guy. Still, let's do the hydrophone check and confirm their position.
Meter.
I would have thought that in January 44 there was not too much of a U-boat force left.
Motorenwechsel.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
So, going down to 50 meters
25
and doing a hydrophone check there silently with engines turned off.
Meter.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 80 Grad.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Herr Kapitän?
Yeah, not too bad. I think my dead reckoning here is alright.
50 Meter.
So pretty much looks like the guy is moving with 6 to 7 knots. Wow, that's a lot.
55 Meter.
So I was assuming that at that time they were all, a lot of them were already being sunk.
Meter.
Yeah, that's a ratio. 436 U-boats, but only 168 frontline ready.
Meter.
Wow. 400 being lost. Unbelievable. Imagine how many people were in these submarines. And I mean, a loss of a submarine usually is the complete loss of the crew, isn't it? So what was it, 50 people on a submarine? Maybe even more. Yep. Yeah. Maybe you have to put it into that light. Yep. Always having submarines coming back from action. Need repair, refurbishment.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Yeah, I mean, if you consider what kind of complex system a submarine was, this is what I'm always thinking about. That you need a lot of training with your crew to actually safely operate a submarine. I mean, you could easily fuck it up and kill all the crew just by some stupid errors in handling the equipment. And even this seemingly simple job of being on periscope depth, I think it needs probably a lot of experience and training to keep a submarine on periscope depth without giving away its conning tower.
Anblasen.
There we go, back to the surface. And this guy continuing something like 6 miles per hour. And
45 Meter.
us, now we are really taking over.
Kurs setzen.
Meter.
Yeah, actually, we had busier chats in the last weeks than tonight. Maybe all the guys are joining the the streams about Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Herr Kaloin, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yes. Yeah. No chance, right? It's a live or die. If you get a heavy hit, all the crew is gonna die, yeah. By the way, what's a FIDO? F-I-D-O. So we are gonna carry on for 1 hour. It was 20 to 11. So that's half an hour.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
And maybe now we could bear down on their submarine seeking torpedoes dropped from planes. They had that back then, but I think it's not implemented in the game, is it? There he is. Yeah, we are in a good distance. Yeah, I wasn't aware that they already had this concept back then. I thought it was more something from the Cold War. Yeah, pretty amazing. So what was it? What was the guidance system? Was it acoustic? I probably guess it would have been acoustic, right?
Kurs setzen.
Here we are.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Right in the way.
Alle
Let's
marschieren
stop
stopp.
the engines. What's the estimated distance? Six miles. Let's do a hydrophone check.
50 Meter.
Just like the Zaunkönig, yeah. But probably it must have been much more sensitive than the Zaunkönig, right? I mean, it's one thing to have a sound homing torpedo going for a merchantman or a man of war, or on the other hand, going for a silently moving submarine.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5
Auf
Meter.
E-Motoren wechseln.
By the way, please allow me to be AFK for 1 minute.
Schraubengeräusch. Handelsschiff. Peilung 80 Grad.
10 Meter.
Alright. Thanks for your patience. I'm back again. Okay, with a predefined search pattern. Yeah, okay. So that looks like that it was pretty efficient, would be my gut feeling. Yeah, in the end you always have to kind of compare the costs and the effort to produce such a torpedo. And probably it was much less effort to produce such a torpedo than to produce a submarine. And so if you deployed something like 340 and sank 37 submarines with that, I think probably the bottom line would be that it was
Aktuelle Tiefe 15
pretty efficient then. Yeah, do you have a figure how much it did cost to create a submarine? To manufacture a submarine?
35 Meter.
So I'm pretty sure that it's a good deal for the Fido.
Jawohl.
There it is, not too far away from my predicted position of theirs. Yeah, looks good. Looks like I am in a good position. What's our distance to their line of keel? 3 cables. Maybe I have to go back a bit.
Peilung 100 Grad.
Wow, look at that. I mean, 4 million Reichsmark. Yeah.
55
Yeah.
Meter.
So I think they had a pretty good ratio, a good return of invest with these FIDOs.
Meter.
Auf Seerohrtiefe.
So let's do the hydrophone check, and Mr. Arlos, please make sure that the guys at the depth steers are keeping depth thoroughly.
45 Meter. Aktuelle Tiefe 25 Meter. Herr Kaloi, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe.
Okay,
Für Rundblick eingesteuert.
who's gonna man the periscope? The captain. Yeah, let's do the attack periscope.
Aktuelle Tiefe 15 Meter.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough sea. Come on, guys, you can step away from battle station.
Herr Kaloi, wir sind auf Seerohrtiefe. Boot für Rundblick eingesteuert.
What was it? 80 degrees? Something? There it is. Yeah, there is a bit of a swell. Yeah, so, well, roughly spoken, the production of 4,000 Fido torpedoes cost as much as doing 2 submarines, right? Yeah, so they really did return their invest. Yeah, it's quite interesting to see how some high-tech product with good ideas and high-end technology quickly gets outdated by other developments. Don't have any idea yet what kind of ship the guy actually is. And maybe I should turn astern a little bit.
Fahrt zurück.
Okay, so the Germans weren't aware of them. Yeah, that's ugly. If you had this kind of technology and the submarine guys were just not aware. Yeah. That's about intellectual property, yeah.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet. Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Alle Maschinen, stopp!
So I'm not yet sure what type of ship is it. Is it even that guy? There is some poles on the stern. So guys, please help me. Give me your guess. What type of ship do we have there?
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Yeah, what about the maintenance status? Yeah, it looks alright for now. Yeah, well, you say that these torpedoes had their search pattern at 45 meters and not deeper. So I really wonder how deep the submarine captains at that time actually dared to go. Did they really go to like something like 200 meters or something? Or was it more like that they never dared to go deeper than 40, 50, 60, 70 meters? Meanwhile, this is new. A new type of ship. Might be this one. So let's see when we get closer whether we are going to torpedo them or try to force them. You think it's a bell? Yeah, you have that separation of the chimney from the deck house. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I think I could follow you. Here, this one, look at that one, I think. Here, this one, the chant. I think I didn't have that in the list before. Hey, Colin, you're always a good counselor in terms of determining ship types. Yep. Good evening, how are you doing? Yeah, I hope you had a good week. My weeks are pretty busy actually the last weeks, and well, actually the last 2 or 3 months. I really had a hell lot of things to do at work. Yes, me too. Me too. That was an amazing game. The French are really doing awesome, aren't they? And well, the Moroccan guys, they were also doing fine. Yeah, but finally, I mean, maybe France is really the best team at the moment.
Rohr 5 gewartet.
I'm not quite sure what to do. But maybe the best would be get to the surface and scare them off the ship. without wasting any torpedoes or something. Yeah, that would be great. I'm pretty much with Norway. I mean, Haaland, he's really a wacko, but he's an amazing guy. And I pretty much like the team. The penalty kick, yeah. Yeah, I actually didn't see the penalty kick. We got into the game a little bit later. I just heard that the penalty kick was delayed by the referee for quite some time, which might have actually been dragging on the nerves of the guy who was shooting the penalty. There we are. It's a small one, isn't it? The bell. Yeah, 50,000 tons. However, velocity is 7 at max, 6 to 7. Now let's figure out angle on bow. 40. Like that. So the angle on bow would be 45 or something. And the distance. Sorry, guys. This is a bit of a guesswork now.
Aktualisieren. Gegnerlage 4, 6.
Okay, still pretty far away.
7 Knoten. Entfernung 2, 2, 9, 3 Meter. Langsame Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, these constant decisions of the video assistant referee. Yeah. And the commercial break, yeah. Yeah, this is what they have from American football, right? I mean, in American football, you have just any few minutes, you have the commercial break. Because the offense is changing to the defense and things like that. I remember back in the days when I was a student in Düsseldorf, I went several times to American football matches of Rheinfire against Frankfurt. What was it? Frankfurt Galaxy and Rheinfire Düsseldorf. I never quite got the rules, but, well, yeah, but back then there were two nice girls and they were working for a, yeah, marketing agency, and they got the tickets for free, and that was why we went to the match with them and had a nice evening out in the Düsseldorf Altstadt in the pubs afterwards. I remember once there was one of these breaks, and in the break actually there was, yeah, they actually had a helicopter and they infiltrated Scooter into the arena by helicopter, and he had one song and then he went out again by helicopter. Pretty amazing, pretty weird. So here we are.
Schussunterlagen aktualisieren. Entfernung 1, 4, 4, 7 Meter. Winkel 6.
Let's give it a save, and then I think I'm gonna get to the surface and see if I can just scare them off the ship without firing valuable torpedoes.
Anblasen.
Aktuelle Tiefe 10 Meter.
Kurs setzen. Auf Dieselmotoren wechseln.
Yeah, this video assistant referee, that's kind of weird. That's, I don't know.
Aber wir haben schon Schlimmeres überstanden. Lasst uns ruhig bleiben.
So they are ringing alarm. Let's see if we can convince them
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
to abandon ship. Otherwise, we are gonna try to hunt them down with the deck gun.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
The target is still too far to signal them.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten.
I don't know. I think at the moment they are actually trying to evade us.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Yeah, sorry, you US guys listening. So I've been talking shit about American football, but yeah, I have no idea about it. So probably it's not up to me to judge. I just never kind of was able to dive into it, I have to admit.
Kleine Fahrt, voraus.
So now, communicate that we intend to sink them. After your crew sends the light signal that you're going to sink the ship, there is no immediate reaction amongst the crew. After a while you notice that the ship starts to zigzag. And here we are. So they are not yielding,
Diese Koordinaten setzen.
obviously. So, Mr. Schultz, please man the deck gun.
Deckgeschütz besetzen. Kleine Fahrt, voraus.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
And let's wreak some havoc upon them. There they go. Where's the rest of the crew? 3 more crewmates. Please join the guy. And there they come. Oh shit. Hey, how is this possible? I don't have... Oh shit, I did forget. Oh, come on. No. No, 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 please. Did I forget to refill the ammo for the deck gun? I probably did. Yeah, come on, shit. Shit.
Kurs setzen. Halbe Fahrt, voraus.
I hate that. I really hate that. I don't have, the ammo. So let me be AFK for a minute and then decide what to do. Yeah, do you think we can sync them with the...
Kurs setzen.
Not quite sure whether this is pretty efficient.
Äußerste Kraft voraus.
Wow. You don't see any impacts, do you?
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Halbe Fahrt voraus.
Okay, there was this crewman falling down.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Not quite sure if this does have... Yeah. But I'm curious whether I could actually sink him with the deck gun. I think I did that before, a long time ago. Also with the small anti-aircraft gun.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Just curious whether this is gonna work.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
So just question how much. If you if of course if I had the shells, but I don't have them.
Halbe Fahrt voraus. Alle Maschinen, stopp.
Are they listing by now? Maybe they are, but they're still moving.
Große Fahrt voraus. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Are they deeper in the water than they were? I think they aren't.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Well, this is a pain in the ass, isn't it?
Kurs setzen.
Are they gonna go down finally? There is no sign of them getting any damage.
Kurs setzen. Langsame Fahrt voraus.
Yeah, but what should I mean? Problem is I don't get the gun bare lowered. Yeah. I don't know.
Kleine Fahrt voraus.
Come on. Yeah, I don't know. Did they? Did they actually stop? Looks like that a bit.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Still have 700 rounds left.
Alle Maschinen stopp.
Let's check that. This is a bit of they are. Are they going down? You are right. The engines have stopped. Do I see any damage on the hull? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it does some damage actually. I'm firing all the rounds. It has stopped, you're right.
Kurs setzen. Große Fahrt voraus.
So, come on, let's give it a final torpedo to sink it.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
If it is not moving anymore, that should be an easy one.
Kurs setzen. Koordinaten setzen.
Let's just hope that they're not gonna repair the engines on short notice.
Kurs setzen.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Yeah, very good. I'm gonna need that any minute. That's a lot of effort for just 5,000 tons.
Kurs setzen. Äußerste Kraft zurück.
So guys, you would have better yielded.
Kurs auf die Koordinaten setzen.
You would have better yielded. Now you're all gonna die. Sorry, lads.
Alle Maschinen. Stopp.
So velocity is 0. Angle on boat just doesn't matter, but it
Aktualisieren. Lage
is
1, 1, 2,
probably
rechts.
something like that. And the distance, we could check it, but if it's not moving, it doesn't make any difference. Like that.
Aktualisieren. Entfernung 7, 7, 3 Meter. Gegnerlage 7, 8, rechts.
So let's check the maintenance status.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Let's go for 1, 3, 4. If we need several.
Rohr 1 bewässern.
Draught 8.
Rohr 1 bewässert.
Äußerste Kraft zurück. Los. 40 Sekunden bis Torpedo einschlafen. Ja.
Alright, so fingers crossed that this is not gonna be a dud. At least we made them
10 Sekunden bis einschlafen.
stand still.
Torpedo versagen.
Wow. Hey, that was almost 100%.
bewässern.
Rohr 3 bewässert.
Los! Ja. Sekunden bis Torpedo einschalten.
Come on.
30 Sekunden.
Yeah, but this time it was really, I think, a matter of being a dart, right?
10 Sekunden bis einschlagen.
Okay, we got them. Yeah, that should be sufficient to sink them, right? I guess. Yeah, poor guy. Yeah, pre-damaged. It was deeper in the water actually, yeah. So this concept of the magnetic pistol just doesn't work. You're right. But in principle it should still work. Even if you have a direct hit, the magnetic pistol should work. Just if it would pass too deep under the keel, it wouldn't. Or, yeah, or if it were a bug, like we had here. Now, let's see. Yeah, the guy must be going down. It says minimal damage, but come on. Can't be that it's still... Yeah, I can't believe that it's gonna be permanently afloat. They are going down, aren't they? I don't need another torpedo. Just a matter of time, I hope. Yeah, so there shouldn't be too many of them left if it's consistent. But I think probably it's not that consistent, is it? Yeah, see, there is still a lot of people in the boat. After that flak gun barrage, yeah. So the ship is actually going down.
AK voraus. Hüllenbruch. Sie sinken.
Alright, they are going down. Right, and I think I'm gonna give some food to lifeboat number 1. Now let's get the cheese on board.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloi? Jawohl, Herr Kaloi. Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
Yeah, let's see that at least we get the food on board.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloi. Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloi.
Right. Alright, so get the stuff to the galley, the stores.
Kurs setzen.
Alright, here we are. Let's give it a save. And yeah, if I look at the time, it's pretty late. Already past 3 o'clock. So, yeah, still I can sleep a little bit longer tomorrow because I'm doing home office. But nevertheless, something like 9 o'clock is the time when I have to start working. So guys, please understand that I have to turn in right now. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure to have you in. Colin, weight loss, great to have you. Thanks for all these comments. And yeah, I'm gonna do another stream tomorrow. Looking forward to see you again. Bye bye, guys. Have a good night. Yes.